Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at Omen site executes on blind. First, let's have a look at the A site. So if you're coming down A short, there's a lot of angles you have to worry about. There's obviously one from lamps, one up from window, and from insight, as well as in this cubby on the right. So there's a few smokes that we can do to deal with this, and I'll show you some basic ones. So the first one is onto the window. You want to place it as close to this ledge as possible. By placing it there, it means that they can't come out past the smoke and stand on the ledge, whereas if you place it further back, they can come up the window. They're not in cover, but they can still cover this angle. There's another great smoke for blocking the line of sight from window, but it's a bit more versatile because it breaks line of sight from anyone holding in the middle of sight as well as just in the window. So I'll do it in this view. And you want to be placing it on the back right corner, like this. So this obviously blocks line of sight from window, but also if anyone's coming out of showers, behind that box, behind the truck, is a common sight line to be holding as a defender. So this also helps your team push in from showers. And then to couple with this smoke, there's a couple you can do. There's one that you can just place here. Again, helps them push in from showers. Anyone in the middle of sight, in that cubby or in the window. And if you use it with this one, to be holding the angle, they have to be out here in the middle of sight, which is where there's no cover for them. So that's not too bad to push in with. One of the most common attacking pushes for this site is to come and sage wall this area. So if you instead put one smoke here and then use your second smoke here, someone can come in and plant in this position. Just be careful, you want someone holding this smoke just so someone can't push through here, because obviously it's not solid like a sage wall. So you need someone holding anyone trying to push through the smoke to stop the planter. But this can be a decent tactic. If your team's struggling to push down A short because of the player in lamps, you can use the smoke just by the teleporter here. And if they do want to play aggressively out of here, they won't be anywhere near cover as they push out the smoke, so you should be able to take them out, and then that lets you push up here and then you can use your smokes in sight. Right, let's have a look at some combination plays then. The first one's great for clearing out lamps, so you can use your blind. As you can see on the mini-map, it pretty much covers the whole front side of lamps, so you can use it like this, and then teleport across this gap, and then you can kill anyone in this corner. Be careful as you push out in case anyone's in this little cubby, so you can just push out and kill them like this. But they shouldn't know that you've teleported across, so you should be able to catch them off guard because they'll be holding the angle, thinking someone's going to push out this angle. And then you can push into lamps. If anyone's in this position, they could still be blinded, or they'll have pushed back, meaning you'll have control, and then you can either push through or just hold the angle. And as you got onto lamps without anyone seeing you cross over this area, they might try and push back into lamps after the blind's finished, and you should be able to kill them as they won't expect you to be in here. If you're struggling with a player in the window, again, use the smokes like normal, like this. But then as you push in, you can go up onto this ledge. Again, be careful of anyone in lamps. And then from this angle, you can push out right, and you can kill anyone holding the op angle there. If you want to, you can use this smoke as cover for a teleport. Because it's a line of sight blocking smoke, it's not super obvious that you're going to go straight into it with your teleport. So you can come up into here, and then, so we're on here. If you jump down, you're probably in trouble, so you want to teleport again to the back of sight. Because it's not that common for people to be playing all the way back here, so hopefully you'll be behind anyone in this area, but it is pretty risky. If you've been using the smoke on the box a lot, one variation you can do is place it slightly to the right, so it still blocks line of sight from the middle of sight. Place it up in the air, and as it falls, jump up onto these boxes, and then they won't expect it to go all the way down, and then you'll have an angle on anyone in window as the smoke drops past them, and they won't be thinking that you're up on this box, because it'll have covered your teleport up here. If you're coming out of showers, the smokes I showed are pretty similar. If you're pushing out of showers, maybe your whole team, you just want to do these two smokes, as it blocks the whole back of sight from seeing you, and then you just have to be careful of people in this area and people up here. If you're worried about enemies in this position, you can use your blind, and then either push out, or you can even teleport past them, because the blind will mask the sound of your teleport, and then you should be able to shoot them, and then from this position you can push into sight. If you want to get a quick plant off in this site, you can use these smokes like this, place them a bit further back, and then teleport into this area, and then plant against here. You obviously want your team to have cleared out this side of sight, and also be holding the angle for lamps, but you could plant here, and then get back into showers. If you know window's clear, you could just use this smoke as cover to get across, teleport in here, and then again teleport up into the window. Only do this if you know no one's in this window though, because obviously you just get killed instantly, but then you can push through. You could even use a second smoke here, so you could just have one here that you teleport into. So you can go into here, and then that blocks the line of sight from anyone in sight, maybe looking at the window thinking that you might be doing that. You can then just hold the defenders spawn in case they're rotating to try and help their teammates on site. In a post plant, a decent angle to hold this spawn area from is from up here, because you'll have an angle over the box and you should just be able to see their heads as they come around this angle, but they won't be checking for this angle, so you should be able to catch them off guard. Same thing from on top of this box as well, actually. They won't be expecting you to be playing here. And you can even get an angle if someone pushes out of window too. Just be careful, you might want to smoke this off if you're playing here or there. Another slightly off angle is from up here in a post plant. You're covered from window and they won't be expecting you to be up here. They'll be checking all like the angles around here, but won't be looking all the way back here, so you should have a nice angle onto them. If the defending team have been very aggressive and they push into this corner, you can use this blind like this, then teleport into this corner, turn around and kill this player, and you're still covered from anyone here, unless they shoot through the box obviously. If you know someone's playing a window and you know this area is clear, you can teleport across this gap. And then obviously if they're there, they'll be able to kill you, but you can peek out from this side and they'll be holding the angle on this side of the doorway, so you should be able to kill anyone in window if they're out in the open. Next, let's have a look at B side. There's not much you can do in mid really with Omen, other than just push up here. There's a nice blind angle from here that does the whole of hooker, so if you do that as your team pushes in, they'll be able to clear this close corner and then push into hooker and hopefully clear everyone out. And if they do get blinded, they might try and run out, so if you manage to time it with your team pushes in, you're pretty likely to catch someone off guard. As you push into hooker, if you know someone's holding the angle from all the way back in spawn, you can teleport over this gap and then peek out from this side, and hopefully they won't be expecting you to come out from here, but again be careful if someone's in this area. For actually pushing into B side, the default smokes are just one here to block off the back of sight, or maybe use one in the elbow. From here you can obviously just teleport into the middle of sight, like this. This just means that you won't get caught out by say any killjoy utility or any tripwires on the window. And then from here you can jump up onto this box, clear everyone out behind this site or in the back of spawn. If you know that the cubby's clear, or say the back of site's clear, you can just smoke the back entrance to site as well as elbow. And that will just isolate the whole of site for your team. So if you know it's all clear, the enemies will have a trouble pushing back in, and once you've planted on this site, it's very difficult for the enemies to retake it anyway. If you're pushing up B long, the angle you have to worry about most is from cubby. Same as the smoke from the other side though, just pop it down there. Second one, again, either here or here. This one gives you a bit more flexibility to teleport into. Again, if someone's in elbow though, they might push into the smoke expecting you to teleport into it, so just be careful. And even if they don't push into it, they'll be expecting you to push out of it properly. So just be careful if someone's holding the angle here or here. You'll have trouble pushing them, but if you do get into this position, you can hold the defender spawn quite nicely. In a post-plant situation, coming up onto this is quite nice. You can then watch elbow from this angle, as well as watching their spawn, like this. It's just a bit unexpected. Very similar thing from this box as well. You can watch their spawn here, and also peek elbow from an unexpected angle. If you get caught in sight, you can go straight into hooker. So say if in the post-plant, you can just smoke yourself off in hooker, teleport, and you'll get inside the lip of the window. And then from here, you're much more safe than in the middle of sight. If your position in the middle of sight is known as well, and they're pushing out of this door, you can teleport across here, and then you'll be peeking out of the off angle. They'll be expecting you in the middle of sight, not here. And same thing, if you need to escape from this corner, you can do exactly the same teleport the other way around. If you are worried about the right hand side of sight, and you maybe don't have a smoke or whatever, this blind is quite good. It covers the whole of the right hand cubby, as well as all the way back into spawn. So it covers if someone's playing in this position or if they're just playing in the doorway. Another nice blind for elbow is this one, pushes anyone out of this position, hopefully retreats them back, meaning you can take elbow more easily, just hold this angle. A nice ultimate tip for this map as well is that because the defender spawns so deep, if you teleport right to the back of it, as they're rotating, if they're close to the opposite side, they won't actually be able to hear you as you teleport here, so they'll be running across and they won't be able to hear the noise. Obviously they might see you, but this can be a good one to get information, and if they don't spot you, it's great to just pick people off as they run past. I've made Omen site execute guides for all the other maps, so check them out in the playlist on the end card. Thanks for watching!